You've been told your whole life that putting yourself first is selfish. That solitude is a sign of weakness. But what if I told you that's the very reason you feel drained, lost, and stuck? What if solitude, the very thing most people try to avoid, is the key to becoming unshakable? Look around. Everyone is connected all the time, endlessly scrolling, endlessly replying, endlessly available. And yet, despite all this connection, people feel lonelier than ever. Isn't that strange? We spend more time talking to the world and less time talking to ourselves. Here's the problem. When you forget to prioritize yourself, when you run from silence, you hand over your inner peace to the noise of the world. And the Stoics knew, better than anyone, that a person who cannot be at peace with themselves will never truly be free. So today we're diving into the heart of self-prioritization and solitude, not as escape, but as strength, not as selfishness, but as wisdom. Now let's begin with the simple truth. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you give and give and give without ever returning to your own well, you end up hollow, exhausted, resentful, and lost. Think of the last time you felt stretched too thin. Did you snap at someone? Did you feel anger or sadness rise up? That wasn't weakness. That was your soul crying out for balance. Self-prioritization doesn't mean rejecting others. It means ensuring you have enough within you to give without breaking. Imagine this. The day ends, the noise fades, you're alone in your room, no phone, no conversations, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. How does that feel? For many, it's terrifying. They can't sit still because they're forced to face the truth they've been avoiding. But for the Stoic, solitude is the proving ground. It's where you measure your own strength, not by how long you can endure other people's demands, but by how deeply you can endure yourself. Here's the thing. When you prioritize yourself, people often say you've changed. And you have. You've changed from someone who lived by everyone else's expectations into someone who finally recognizes their own needs. That doesn't make you selfish. It makes you whole. When you stand on firmer ground, you stop showing up to life with resentment and start showing up with clarity. That brings us to the power of silence. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul." Silence isn't emptiness. Silence is full. It's full of answers, insights, and clarity that the noise of life buries. But here's the twist. Most people run from silence because silence tells the truth, and truth is hard to face. Yet only in silence can you peel away the layers of expectation and meet yourself as you are. Think about it. Every yes you give to someone else is a no you give to yourself. Let that sink in. Every time you say yes out of guilt, obligation, or fear, you are stealing from your own time, your own energy, your own soul. The world will never stop asking for more, but you must decide where your yes ends. Prioritizing yourself is drawing that line with courage, so your life doesn't become a series of compromises that erase who you are. Most people don't realize solitude isn't a prison, it's preparation. The Stoics knew this. They would step away not to avoid life, but to strengthen themselves for it. Picture it like sharpening a sword. A dull blade may swing wildly, but it's ineffective. A sharp one, honed in silence, strikes true. In solitude, you sharpen your mind, your focus, and your will. So when the world calls, you answer with strength, not weakness. If you pause for a moment, ask yourself, when was the last time you sat alone, no distractions, and reflected on your life? Not scrolled, not binged, not filled the silence with noise, just reflected. Seneca once said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Reflection is learning. It's looking at your day and asking, did I live with intention, or did I just react? In solitude, you step into the classroom of your own soul, and those who never pause to reflect never truly learn. But here's the twist. When you start to prioritize yourself, the world will push back. Friends, family, coworkers, they're used to the version of you that never says no. And suddenly, when you protect your time, they feel offended. But here's the truth. Disappointing others is sometimes the price of not disappointing yourself. If you live your life to keep everyone else happy, you will never know the taste of your own freedom. Behind all of this, self-prioritization is more than setting boundaries. It's about respect, not the respect others give you, but the respect you give yourself. Think of it. How can you expect others to value your time if you constantly give it away without thought? You set the tone. You teach others how to treat you by how you treat yourself. And when you honor your own boundaries, others will either rise to that standard or fall away. Both outcomes are gifts. Through the lens of wisdom, solitude becomes a teacher. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." And what does that mean? It means you cannot grow if you're constantly seeking the approval of others. Solitude teaches you to be comfortable without applause, without validation. It teaches you to build a foundation so strong that whether people praise you or mock you, you remain unshaken. With time, we begin to see every hour you spend in solitude is an investment, not a loss. It's where you recharge, rethink, and realign. Without solitude, you're swept up in the chaos of life, like a leaf in the wind. But with solitude, you root yourself. You stop being a passive participant in your own story and start becoming the author. And authors don't let the world write their script for them. And what remains is this: self-prioritization and solitude are not luxuries. They are necessities. Without them, life becomes noise, endless chatter, endless demands, endless distraction. But with them, life becomes focus, clarity, peace. Only when you stand firmly in yourself can you extend a steady hand to others. The world doesn't need you drained. The world needs you whole. In the silence, when you sit alone, stripped of noise, stripped of distraction, something powerful happens. You finally hear your own voice. At first, it's uncomfortable. You hear the doubts, the regrets, the fears. But if you stay a little longer, beneath all of that, you begin to hear wisdom, the quiet, steady guidance that was buried under everyone else's opinions. Solitude clears the fog, so the path ahead becomes visible. And it's in that silence that your true compass awakens. Beyond desire and fear, every choice we make is usually driven by one of two things: the desire to be accepted or the fear of being rejected. But solitude breaks this cycle. When you learn to be at peace with yourself, you no longer chase approval and you no longer fear abandonment. You become free. Seneca reminds us, "He who is brave is free." And what greater bravery is there than standing tall in solitude, unafraid of being misunderstood, unafraid of being alone, because you finally realize you are enough. So don't run from solitude. Don't feel guilty for choosing yourself. The world will always pull at you, demanding more, more, more. But your soul, your deepest self, asks for stillness, reflection, and care. If you can learn to embrace solitude and prioritize your inner life, you won't lose anything. You'll gain everything: strength, freedom, peace. If this message spoke to you, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps bring Stoic wisdom to more people just like you. And if you're ready to go deeper, another video is waiting for you right here on the screen. Click it and keep walking the Stoic path with me. Until next time, and as always, stay Stoic.